Let me ask you something. When you're lying in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, do you ever feel this quiet, gnawing shame? That deep, unspoken frustration because you know you're capable of more, but somehow you're stuck exactly where you are. You tell yourself you'll make a change. You'll build something. You'll finally escape the job you hate, the paycheck that disappears before the month is over. But then, another week passes, another month, another year, and it scares you, doesn't it? The thought that maybe nothing is ever going to change. I know that feeling. I know the cycle, the motivational videos, the half-started projects, the quiet excuses we whisper to ourselves. I don't have the money. I don't have the connections. I don't have the time. But let me tell you something that might sting. The money isn't the problem. It never was. Because there are ways to start a side hustle with no capital at all. Ways that demand nothing except your attention, your courage, and your willingness to face the uncomfortable parts of yourself. And today, I'm going to show you 3 of them. But before I do, let's strip away the illusions. Because this isn't just about business. This is about identity. We live in a culture where money feels like the permission slip to dream. People think, if only I had $5,000, then I could start. If only I had investors, then I could begin. But that's a trap, a psychological trick. Think about Warren Buffett. The man who became one of the richest in history didn't start with money. He started with knowledge, with the obsessive willingness to study markets while his peers were wasting time. Jeff Bezos started Amazon in a garage. But the real investment wasn't the garage or even the inventory. It was his decision to act before everything was certain. The uncomfortable truth is this: if you can't build something small with nothing, you won't magically build something huge with everything. Money doesn't create creativity. It doesn't create courage. It only magnifies who you already are. So today, I want to challenge you to see yourself differently. Not as someone waiting for permission, but as someone who has everything they need already. If only you stop hiding behind the excuse of no capital. The first way to start a side hustle with no capital is so simple, most people dismiss it. Sell knowledge, not products, not fancy equipment, just what you already know. Think about it. We live in a world drowning in information. But people don't want information, they want clarity. They want someone to cut through the noise and guide them. That's where you come in. Maybe you know how to cook on a budget. Maybe you're good at fitness. Maybe you survived a toxic relationship and learned hard lessons. All of that is knowledge. And knowledge is currency. You don't need money to start teaching. You can record videos with your phone, write on free platforms, host Zoom calls, or even start a free email newsletter. And here's the twist. The very thing you think makes you ordinary is the thing someone else desperately needs. A single mom trying to get in shape doesn't need an Olympic athlete. She needs someone relatable. A new graduate drowning in debt doesn't need a millionaire guru. He needs someone just a few steps ahead. When you sell knowledge, you're not selling perfection. You're selling guidance, empathy, a shortcut through pain you've already lived. The only cost is courage. The courage to put yourself out there and risk being ignored. The second way to start a side hustle with no capital. Sell skills. Not products on shelves, not warehouses of inventory, just the skills you already carry in your hands. Can you write, design, edit videos, speak another language? Can you organize chaos, solve puzzles, talk to people in a way that makes them feel seen? These aren't hobbies, they're assets. Think of skills as digital gold. Platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, and even social media allow you to trade time and talent instantly. No startup costs, no investors, just sweat equity. And here's the paradox. Most people underestimate their own skills because they come easily. The thing you dismiss as nothing special is the exact thing someone else is willing to pay for. Steve Jobs once said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward, only backward." That means the odd jobs, the side hobbies, the random skills you picked up, they were never random. They were breadcrumbs preparing you for now. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Many people never act because selling skills feels exposed. When you sell a product, rejection feels distant. When you sell yourself, rejection feels personal. And that's why most people hide. Not because they lack skill, but because they fear the mirror. The third way is the most misunderstood. And the most powerful, leverage attention. We live in an attention economy. That means the currency of our age isn't gold, oil, or even dollars, it's human focus. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, these aren't just distractions, they're marketplaces. And here's the secret. You don't need millions of followers, you just need the right 1,000. If you can capture attention, you can redirect it into affiliate products, into coaching, into digital downloads, into communities you build. You don't need to be a polished influencer. In fact, raw, unfiltered honesty often performs better. Because people don't want another celebrity. They want someone real, someone flawed, someone like you. But here's the uncomfortable twist. Building attention takes consistency, and consistency exposes you. It forces you to face your own procrastination, your own excuses, your own fragile ego. Most people quit after 2 weeks. Not because it doesn't work, but because it works too slowly for their dopamine-hungry brain. But if you can stay, if you can endure the awkward beginnings, the silence, the posts nobody notices, then eventually the silence breaks. And attention, once captured, compounds faster than money ever could. So here they are, 3 ways to start a side hustle with no capital. Sell knowledge, sell skills, leverage attention. But if you walk away, remembering only one thing, let it be this: the real capital isn't money, it's courage. Courage to face yourself. Courage to start small. Courage to be embarrassed, to fail publicly, to persist when the world isn't clapping for you. Because here's the final, uncomfortable truth. Most people aren't held back by poverty. They're held back by pride. They don't want to be seen starting at zero, but every empire begins with zero. Every millionaire began unknown. Every successful person you admire once looked ridiculous, broke, and unproven. And the only difference between them and the millions who never started is that they started anyway. So tonight, when you're staring at the ceiling, replaying this video in your mind, remember this: you are not waiting for money. You are not waiting for permission. You are not waiting for the perfect plan. You are only waiting for yourself. And the question is, how much longer will you keep waiting? Because your life is happening right now. And the side hustle, the freedom, the future you want, it doesn't begin when you finally get money. It begins the moment you decide to move without it. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in stocks or real estate or businesses. It's in proving to yourself that you are capable of beginning with nothing.